Hello. So this is the second rule for life of the 12 rules for life by Jordan Peterson. This one is really important rule. It's one of the most important I will dare to say. Actually, it might just be the most important. And it's treating yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. Now, I'll tell you a little bit of my story. A couple of years ago, I did not treat myself like someone I'm responsible for helping. In fact, I treated myself like a degenerate. I wasted all of my time in pointless habits and habits that are useless in the long term. I did not treat myself like someone responsible for helping. I did not. I was sleep deprived, depressed all the time. I used to play video games till 3 a.m. in the morning, and next day I will have to go to school. So my social skills were trash, and my focus was trash because I lacked sleep. And I researched, and the average teenager gets about 6.5 to 7.5 hours of sleep. That is nothing. Most teenagers are sleep deprived. They get nothing of sleep. And we're supposed to sleep 9 hours because our brains are essentially growing. And this is a fact. And we are sleep deprived. I felt unworthy all the time. I felt like I didn't deserve anything at all. All the people that I have beside me, my family, friends. I felt numb all the time. Felt sleep deprived, depressed. I felt like a leech essentially because my energy was so negative around other people, and I was so every thought that I had was negative. Every one of them. I had no positive thoughts, no gratitude, no nothing. So this chapter starts with a sentence, and it says, "Why wouldn't you take your damn pills?" And that title is kind of funny. Essentially, if you're young like me, but it's a really important topic, and we're gonna discuss it right now. So Jordan Peterson suggests to imagine 100 people. Imagine that 100 people are prescribed this drug. Let's say, right, we have this a scenario, and 1/3 of them won't feel the prescribed drug. They won't feel it. The other half, they will feel it, but they won't take the medication correctly. They'll miss doses. They'll quit taking it early, and some people might not even take it at all. Then he shows us in a scenario where it isn't you who's sick, it is your dog. And because it's your dog, you take him to the vet. And you even properly administrate the medication prescribed for your dog. So people are, it's hard to say, people are better at filling their dog prescribed drugs and medications than to themselves. Some people are literally better at taking care of their pets, dogs, than taking care of themselves. How terrible is this? As Jordan Peterson asked, how much shame does it exist in this world for such a thing to be true? Beauty changes the ugly, strength changes the weak, death changes the living, and the ideal changes us all. That's a quote by Jordan Peterson, a really powerful one. We fear judgment and we hate it. This does not mean we should abandon ideals. Not at all. We shouldn't abandon ideals of beauty, health, brilliance, and strength. This will make us ashamed, and we will feel like we deserve to feel ashamed all the time. Getting rid of ideals means getting rid of competence. It means getting rid of challenge and things that are interesting and all important people. I'm gonna grab some water. You should know that there's people better than you, prodigies, intellectuals, who are better than you at some fields. And we should feel unworthy and ashamed in front of people who have achieved great things. And Jordan Peterson calls this that this is a price to pay for aim, achievement, and ambition. People feel vulnerable and eternally fear to tell the truth when standards are too high. So, an example of this, let's say it's your mom and you broke her favorite vase or her favorite cup, I don't know, a mug. You will feel ashamed to tell the truth when you're a kid, right? When you're a child. Because that's the person that takes care of you, feeds you. And you need that person to survive when you're a kid. So, of course, we feel fear to tell the truth. And we are self conscious about ourselves. That makes us feel unworthy sometimes. And we return to the original thing. Remember when I said, why won't you take your damn pills? That title? We come back to it. So, why wouldn't someone take their prescribed meds? Don't they want to get better? Don't they want to stop being sick? Well, we think of ourselves like degenerates. We treat ourselves like degenerates sometimes. We feel vulnerable, ugly, ashamed, frightened, and worthless. But only you know your insecurities, all the flaws of your body and mind. You are responsible for yourself. No one is. You should take care of yourself and start building yourself and knowing the direction you're taking to help the world and others. If you help yourself and invest time in yourself, it will be the biggest return on all of us and yourself. Another reason we don't feel worthy might be our consciousness and evilness. Because we are conscious and we have evil in our minds, we feel unworthy. So let's say the example we gave before, dogs. Dogs, they're not conscious. They're not evil. They kill things. They might eat them. But it's not because they want to be evil, they want to cause harm. It's more of they're hungry and they have to eat and stuff. But humans, us, we are very conscious of our actions. We actually know where and how can we hurt others, don't we? Sometimes you're walking down the street and you think negative thoughts of hurting others. It might happen. It's nobody wants to talk about it. And it feels evil to admit these things, but we have dark fantasies, dark desires inside of us. We are human. This is our nature. We know our weaknesses and our vulnerability. Hard word for me to say. We suffer the burden of the mind when it keeps telling you that you're not good enough, you can't do this. We know our weaknesses, so we feel unworthy. We often compare ourselves with someone. We look up to someone, and that someone has achieved great stuff. Let's say you're a musician, and you just saw this video of another musician playing, and he's better than you at your instrument. Let's say you play piano, and you look at a video of someone playing piano better than you. Or it might not even be better. It might be another style. But you're comparing who that person is, the fame that he has, the skill that he has, to you. This is a great mistake. And this is actually the fourth rule. The fourth rule of this book is compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who you are, not to someone is today. I messed up that, but we can chain, terrify, and torture others, and that's because we're conscious. Only man can cause suffering for the sake of suffering. That's a deep quote in this book, in this chapter. Humans can cause the greatest catastrophes, as well as they can cause the greatest goods. Because we have this terrible evil, we have a hard time taking care of ourselves. So the example I gave of myself, I treated myself like a degenerate. And it's because I thought I was evil. I had negative thoughts. I was sleep deprived, numb all the time. And I actually felt sometimes when people around me were happy, sometimes I felt like I should be happy too, and I wasn't. I was numb. If you've never thought that the world will be better off without humans or you, and that humans should have never existed, ask yourself this. Have you ever confronted your darkest desires? Have you ever confronted your darkest fantasies inside of your brain? Have you? We have a nature of consciousness. It's our unique gift that we have over any animal in the animal kingdom. If you want to take care of ourselves, we have to respect ourselves. But be honest, do you really respect yourself? It might hurt to admit it, and it might sound like I'm being too rough. But are you honestly proud of your achievements? Or is there something that you want to do? Is there a goal? Do you honestly respect yourself? Ask yourself this. If we spoke the truth, if you stop treating, doing, and acting like a degenerate, you will start to take care of yourself and others, and then the world, and then change occurs. You make the world better by taking care of yourself. Jordan Peterson says that there's a problem arising. And we think that people are always looking out for themselves. But we actually have it backwards. People feel self disgust, low esteem, depressed these days. Depression is its peak. We have the opposite problem. People actually do not think they deserve the best for themselves. Instead, they don't value themselves. People are so aware of their faults and their mistakes and their flaws that they don't think they deserve. They feel unworthy. People believe others should not suffer. You influence others. You are tied with others. This is an evolutionary trait that we evolved. We had to socialize to survive. Our ancestors had to do that. So we actually do need other people. So take care of yourself for other people, or more for yourself. You're responsible. One example of people influencing, I don't know if I said that word right, influencing other people is when someone commits suicide. We see this. This is clear. The family of the person who committed this feels traumatized. You can either choose to influence with good, or you can let yourself be a degenerate. I'm not saying that suicide is something degenerate. I'm not saying that, but you have the choice to control yourself. The hate for yourself and mankind should be balanced with gratitude. Something I do personally is a gratitude journal every day in the mornings. And you make a list. You write. I have a notebook over there. That's my notebook. It's my gratitude journal. Just write down lists of things I'm grateful for every day, or people I'm grateful for. You will find out that there's actually someone who cares about you. And people achieve great things every day. So you deserve some respect. Those people deserve some respect. You are really important to your community. And you have a role to this story. This is why you are obliged to take care of yourself. You are responsible to take care of yourself because you're important to your community, because you matter. You should take care of yourself like someone you love, like someone you will take care of. To treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping is to do what's truly good, what's good for you. We confuse a lot of times happiness with what's genuinely good for us. We think, oh, it makes me happy. I'm gonna do that. Gonna commit that action. But is it truly what you should be doing? Or does it only make you happy? And you keep doing it because of dopamine, for example. An example of this, Jordan Peterson actually wrote in the book. It's an example is a child, a kid. Sometimes we give kids candy. It might be your brother, your sister. We know that it makes them happy, but it's not truly good for them. We're not gonna feed them candy every day, are we? It's not good for their health. Happy doesn't mean good. They're not the same thing. You must help a child become competent. You must help them be virtuous and responsible, self aware of themselves. You need to consider the future. Sacrifice today's cheap pleasure for tomorrow's goal, long term goal. We sometimes even know what's good for us, but we don't do what's good for us. Ask yourself, what would your life actually look if you took better care of yourself? What what goal, career, or endeavor will make you productive and valuable to the world? What should you do when you have some free time? To improve your health, knowledge, and strong body? What should you be doing? You should you should strengthen. strength in your body. A strong body is a strong mind. You need to know where you're headed, articulate your being, yourself, so others don't step on you and take inappropriate advantage of you. Especially if you're a young man, you should discipline yourself. You should start with yourself, build yourself up, take care of yourself, define who you are, define where you're headed. You could spend your time, all of your life, making the world better, and that will make you so meaningful to this world. It will make this place a better place, and it will justify your miserable existence. If you feel miserable right now, you feel like everything's pointless, you are nihilistic about every action you commit to every day. If you actually start helping in your community, go out, help your neighbor or your mother, your dad, your family, you will actually start feeling like you belong, like you have a responsibility to take care of those. Believe me, if you start doing that, helping the world, or start taking care of yourself, you will find meaning. If you feel like life is meaningless right now because you're young, because society has put a lot of things to distract you, to make you essentially stray away from your goals, you will find meaning if you do this. Remember to treat yourself like someone you're responsible for, helping.